Welcome to Nihas International on this Tuesday. It's this Tuesday, the 22nd of October. I'm a day ahead of myself. We've got the local news for you in English and in German in the second part of the programme. And the topic today for our studio interview is the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival. And this is taking place this weekend, October the 26th and 27th, at the H10 Hotel Marbella, Puerto, Banus. You can visit it from 11 in the morning till 8 in the afternoon. Lots and lots of exhibitors there. You can find out about tarot, auras, meditation, palmistry, among lots of other things. Now, Jacinta Hannon is the founder of this, and she's here to talk to us today. And Jennifer Mackenzie, who is a highly experienced international medium, and she's a council member, she's a life member of the Spiritualist Association of Great Britain. And Jennifer's going to be giving demonstrations on mediumship over the weekend, but she also has experience of lots of other things in this field as well. Good evening, both of you.
Hello, how are you?
Good evening.
Hi.
Lovely to see you both. I did interview you quite a while ago.
About 3 years ago?
About 3 years ago, yes, it was. And I do believe that the festival just gets more and more popular. In fact, at this venue, Jacinta, it'll be the 10th year, is that right?
This is the 10th year in the H10 Andalucia Plaza.
Yeah.
It's a lovely, big, spacious room, and it's accommodating 55 stands. We do like 18 different talks and demonstrations over the weekend, so it has enough space for the whole festival for the weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of different themes. I mean,
Yes.
You've not just got the spiritual side of it, you've also got the holistic side of it, you know, and the healthy eating, nutrition, getting your energies right and things like that.
That's correct. Everything to do with the mind, body and spirit.
And spirit, yes.
So we've got the hypnosis for the mind, psychology, limiting beliefs, helping people to think properly, and we've got everything for the body. If you'd like to have a massage, an age scan, free age scans, to check what your age is, and
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
I'm just interested to know how you got involved and why you decided to have these sort of festivals. Is it something you've always been interested in?
Well, I think it runs in the family. I was 11 when I started first really thinking about why am I here? What do I believe? I was brought up a Catholic, and so I started really kind of checking the beliefs of the religion and stuff, and started thinking more for myself. I read a book, Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, and The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale when I was 11.
Gosh.
And I really took to it. It was like water to a duck. So I just loved it, and I just went from strength to strength throughout the years. And this is many years now I've been doing these festivals, because it helps to raise the consciousness of the people, to help them to be empowered, to be more awake, to be more aware, and to allow themselves to have a happier, more fulfilled life.
And I noticed one thing you've got is access consciousness. What is that?
Well, this is the first time they're coming to the festival, and they help people to let go of limiting beliefs. And, for example, if something bad happens, or if something good happens, you could say, how does it get any better than this? Or you could say, what more is possible? So, and then you will, as you see things unfold, things will get better for people's lives. I mean, the idea is for people to have a happier, more peaceful life. That's what we all would like to experience. A
bit like the example of the glass half empty and half full.
Exactly. Yes, it's always better to look at the glass as half full rather than half empty. Yeah. Because you've nothing to lose by thinking in a positive way, except your limiting beliefs.
And it's true, and it's very true, because, you know, sometimes you wake up feeling positive, you don't know why, and all day long positive things happen to you, because that's what you're attracting, isn't it?
Yes, it's the law of attraction, like The Secret that's come out. Law of attraction.
Yes, a lot of people, because before this I used to run a bookshop, and I know a lot of those esoteric type books and spiritual books and positive thinking books were some of our best sellers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and especially The Law of Attraction as well.
The Law of Attraction, yes, it's a very good book, that.
And Living in the Now as well.
Living in the Now, yes, by Paul Eckhart.
That's right,
yes.
Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, well, the moment, we might as well, that's all we have, really. The past is history, the future is a mystery, and the present is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Yes. Yeah, make the most of each day. Yeah. And now, how did you meet Jennifer?
I met Jennifer about 15 years ago. As Jennifer was doing a trance mediumship demonstration in Marbella, and I was invited to go along. And I invited Jennifer then to a mystic dinner. I do these mystic dinners for charity. And it turned up the medium didn't arrive, and Jennifer ended up having to do the demonstration.
Oh, it's called fate. It's called fate.
It was fate. It was definitely fate.
Destiny.
Yes. And then I did sell her a property as well. That was, yes. So that was.
It went hand in hand.
We just unfolded more and more and more. It just kept getting better and better and better.
Okay. Now we're going to come back to you, Jacinta, for a few more examples of what people can see there. But I'm sure people are also wanting to find out all about Jennifer here as an international medium. And what you just mentioned there, trance medium as well. What's trance medium?
Trance mediumship is when you go into the stillness and allow yourself to step out of your body and the spirit world to come in. Okay? That sounds a bit weird, I guess. Yeah. But the face changes, the voice changes. And I always think of myself sitting on a cloud somewhere. But the interesting thing is I'm not such a deep trance medium that I don't know what's being said. I listen. And sometimes my voice says, oh, that's interesting, and I almost come back again. But it is interesting, especially in the healing. I do a lot of trance healing, and that's interesting as well.
Well, I was just wondering how many years that you've been involved in this field?
Well, as a little girl, I used to be the gypsy, if you like, at the Catholic faith. So I always must have been, without realising it, that way inclined. But it was only when my mother died that I thought, I've got such a wonderful mother who worked so hard. She was so beautiful. Surely it can't be the end. There must be something more. And I got up courage and went to a medium. And the first thing he said to me when I sat down was, I've got your mother here. Her name's Elizabeth. And she had such awkward feet. And she did. She had very long, thin feet. She could never get shoes for. So that was a marvellous beginning for me, because I thought, my gosh, I'd never really thought about afterlife. I'd never thought that life could go on. And then I was introduced to another medium who said, actually, you're a medium yourself. And this went on for 2 or 3 years, learning. Then I was invited to join the Spiritual Association of Great Britain. And eventually I was on their council, and I was healing secretary. And then from there, they sent me all over the world. Japan, I think, was probably the first place they sent me to. And that, we're talking now 25 years ago. I've been a working medium for about 30, 40 years now.
Okay. Yeah. And you've got experience in a lot of other topics and themes in this field as well.
I believe you've got to have lots of strings to your bow, because I'm a teacher. So, you know, I tend to teach people, and then they can go and they take my job off me. So I find every time you teach something, Spirit gives you something a little more.
Yes, because you've passed on your knowledge.
I pass on everything I get. And sometimes the interesting thing is, with a lot of students, I learn as well, because obviously we're all spirit in a human body, and we all have wonderful different experiences. But I had to be a hypnotherapist, because I was working in Germany, and the rules in that stage was you couldn't be a medium or a healer. It was you could be actually put in prison. So you had to have something legal that you could do. So I became a hypnotherapist, and through that did healing and teaching. And that's wonderful. I do past life regression with that, and therapies for alcoholism and stop smoking, which I did for Jacinta 1 year.
Very good.
I've got to say it came back 2 years later, but anyway, worked for a while. And phobias and stop flying and all the things. And it's a very, very good medium to have, actually, as well as doing the work I do. Yeah.
Okay, and you travel around the world quite a lot as well.
Yes.
Which countries do you normally travel to?
Well, now it's more Europe. I'm doing a lot of work in Norway. I go there 4 times a year, and I'm working in France a lot, in Paris. But I used to go to Japan and to the States. In fact, I have been invited to go back to the States next year again. But as I'm getting a little bit older, as I explained to you, the mind wants to do things, but the body isn't quite so happy about it.
It's going to take it rest.
So the long trips take their toll a little bit more, you know, as you get on.
And what do you practice in these countries?
Well, most places that I go to, I have an agent, and then they fix workshops. I'm teaching mediumship and healing on all forms, all levels, sometimes past life, and all of those energies. And I also do private readings as well. And it's usually about a week or 2 weeks, maybe 3, depending on the country, except from Japan, where I used to be met in Tokyo and then flown up to the top and back with different stages all the way. Okay. Really fascinating, lovely country.
I'm going to say, with the amount of experience that you've got, there must have been lots and lots of unusual things that have happened to you. But is there something that really, really does stand out?
Well, I think a quick one, because I can tell things that are really amazing things. The first time I was working in Australia and I was new to teaching, and I was a little bit scared. And I had a darling little apartment, and I'd made myself an altar. And before I went out, I just prayed to my guides to be with me, please help me make it work. And it did go very well, I'm pleased and happy to say. And I came back, I put my key in the door, opened the door and walked in, and I said, thank you, Spirit World, it was so good. And all the candles in my flat lit up.
Oh, gosh.
It was totally amazing. And I went into the sitting room, and there was a big white feather there. Yeah. I mean, that was these sort of lots of really
I can imagine you've got
things.
Lots of
we could
examples.
talk forever about it. Yeah. But that was
I have to have you back to talk about a few things, that's for sure. Now, you're going to be doing demonstrations in mediumship, aren't you? Now, and readings as well.
Yes.
So how does this work? You're doing it on Saturday and Sunday at 4
Saturday and Sunday at 4 o'clock, and I go to different people in the crowd and bring, hopefully, mothers, fathers, children, aunts, friends through, give them a little message. Really, it's sort of proof of survival. I work with colour a lot too, so normally, especially if I'm in Norway, I do a lot of big demonstrations there when there's 200 or 300 people. I get them to learn as well, so I talk about colour and auras and what the colours mean, and then in the end, they're kind of joining in. Okay.
Oh, maybe I should ask you about my colours.
Well, sure. Do
I just pick a couple of favourites?
Give me your 3 favourite colours. Not what you wear, although you may wear them. I don't want you to say black.
All right,
just colours you love.
Yellow, orange and red.
Yellow, okay. So yellow shows me that you're obviously a very good communicator to other people, which you are. And also, it's a sensitivity. So you could put on a front of being quite strong, but inside yourself, you're actually very sensitive, okay? And the next colour was?
Orange.
Orange. Orange is a fabulous colour. For me, it's the most spiritual. It's the link that I go through orange into the trance state. So a person who loves orange very often has strong dream state. Do you have that? Yeah. They listen to your dreams. It's very often loved ones trying to communicate to you if you're too busy in the day. An orange person physically can be pretty energetic and sporty or dancing or something like that. And also they're very inventive. So you can actually invent things, but also you'll want to do something different from anybody else. So you'll want to do it in a special way, your unique way, all right? And what was the next?
Red.
Red.
I love red.
Oh, red's the energy to do in life what you want to do. So that's brilliant if you've got the orange and the red, because you've got that energy and that drive to do it.
To go.
So you can be the boss lady, you can be the organizer. But with that sensitivity of the communication, you're brilliant at communicating. To be honest, you've got a perfect job here, haven't you?
Oh, thank you.
Because you're communicating to people and also doing the healing and helping as well by answering people. And even interviewing someone lovely like Jacinta and, you know, encouraging all of us to work. Well,
when you think of Mind, Body and Spirit Festival, when you think of the way the world is now and all the problems and things, I think something like this, if somebody's gone off the path, they don't know what's wrong with them, they don't know where they're going wrong, sometimes, you know, it can just put them back on the right path.
Got a granny in the spirit world, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yes. She just, sorry, she just suddenly stepped in behind you to tell you how much she loves you.
Oh, okay. Right, thank you for that. We'll get back to you, Jacinta, now then. Is there anything else you'd like to highlight about the festival? People will be encouraged to come anyway. Yes. With all the different things that you can do.
Well, there's 18 different talks and demonstrations on over the weekend, different ones Saturday and Sunday. So people get a programme as they come in the door like this. So
okay,
this will tell them everything that's on. Also, they can go to the website and check the timetable. There's also not just people doing readings and healing, energy healing. There's also products there. There's, for example, this beautiful necklace was handmade by Noelle. She'll be there with lots of different crystals. We have the noni juice. We have people, as I said, doing age scans, radiation checks, spine checks, health products, beauty products, Weight Watcher wraps. So it's something new. Okay. Aloe vera products.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a real wide range that people can find out.
Yes, and there'll be samples. People can have little sample tasters of these things. We've got some beautiful food as well. It's actually Israeli food. We have raw food from the Balearia. And we also have lovely cakes and delicacies as well. Okay. So people can come and go for the day and have something to eat and go into a lecture and then maybe have a break and come back in. So it's exciting. It's an exciting weekend.
I think you should say a little bit more about the age scan, because I'm going to have that.
Oh, yes, there's a machine, isn't there? Age scan.
It's the first time in Europe it's going to be seen. And Yasmin Bernard is going to be doing that. It only takes 20 seconds. So everybody, and it's free, so everybody can have it done. And it checks, for example, say you're 30, and you check your age scan. It'll tell you if that is your actual age, or you might be even 20 if you eat really healthy and you're very
depending
healthy.
What comes through
but
from the oils.
Say you're 70.
Skin.
That means you're maybe eating too much junk food, and you need to have a really good look at your diet and see where you can improve and get back on track, because we can change.
Yes, we can, and it'd be good to talk to the person that's got that machine as well. We have another program.
I have some other celebrities coming as well, which is. This year, I have more celebrities coming from England and Ireland. I have Wales's top medium coming from Lee Pachengo. I have Southern Ireland's top medium and Northern Ireland. They're all coming from different places, even America. I've got a lady coming from Michigan, and she's doing a talk on ascension, healing in the fifth dimension.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, both of you. And I'm sure that lots of people will be coming to visit the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a short publicity break, and then Gabby Ray will be with us with the latest local news in English. And following that, Katja Thirion, who will be updating all the German-speaking residents with the local news. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Hasta mañana.
Good evening and welcome to the news in English here on 340 International Television. Very interesting there what Karen had to tell us and her guests, and that sounds like a very interesting festival to go along to as well, so we hope you've taken note there. Today, as we open our news, actually our cameras are right now down at the health centres in Mikas, because it is now the time for the campaign against flu, and the vaccinations are being given in the different health centres in Mikas. We'll have more news for you on that tomorrow. Moving on, the Association for Persons Suffering Deafness or Hearing Impairment inaugurated new offices on Saturday. The centre is situated in El Coto urbanisation and has been seeded by the Town Hall. This will be the meeting place for the association, where there will be a number of activities organised and where they will continue to persevere in their intention to eliminate the barriers that these people find, above all when trying to communicate with the rest of society. The headquarters are situated in number 1 Calle Perdices and has little to do with the previous offices in Mijas. These are much larger and much better prepared. Members of the association in Mijas were present at the inauguration, along with representatives of the federations of hearing impaired persons in the region, and also members of organizations such as the ONCE, the Blind People's Organization in Spain. The municipal corporation was also represented at the opening of the offices. The association has already programmed a number of activities to be developed in these new offices. The inauguration was actually preceded by an act that took place at the Building for Training and Employment, and the association took this opportunity to remind about the main reivindications, which is for the communication barriers to be eliminated with regard to mixing with society. The most important aspect of this day was that awareness was created about the association and their needs. In Malaga, there are some 8,000 hearing impaired persons who require the services of the association. Continuing with another association that does some very, very good work in Spain in general, and then that is the Association Against Cancer here in Spain. As we mentioned yesterday, and due to the World Day Against Cancer, the Spanish Association installed informative desks throughout the province of Malaga. The volunteers were also collecting funds in Mijas. Las Lagunas, La Cala de Mijas and Mijas Village had desks installed with multiple objectives: to inform citizens about the different actions and projects taking place, to explain how to prevent the illness, and to obtain funds for the association. As they said, every little bit helps. The Councillor for Health praised the great work that the members carry out and highlighted that the Town Hall in Mijas is doing everything within its power to cooperate with the association. We continue speaking about charity because the flamenco clubs in Mijas are once again holding charity events, and on Friday the Unión del Cante Club presented the 7th Flamenco Festival in benefit of the Association of Families with Alzheimer, and this is in Fuengirola and Mijas Costa. The event will actually be taking place on the 8th of November. Flamenco and solidarity, this time thanks to the notes of great guitar players and the best flamenco singers. It is once again time for the Flamenco Festival, the 7th edition of a fundraising event to help those in need. The poster for the event, as you can see on screen, was presented last Friday. Among the artists present at the Flamenco Festival will be Antonio de Canillas, Francisco Blanco, Antonio Fuentes, Miguel Vergara, who is also known as El Pibri, El Petro, Virginia Gamez, and Pepe Lopez. So if you do have a flair for the flamenco and would like to enjoy some very good music, this is definitely something that you should go along to. If you would like to take note, the festival will be on Friday, the 8th of November, at the Unión del Cante Clubhouse at the fairground in Fuengirola. There will be plenty of food and drink, and entrance will be costing €10. The funds raised will be used to contribute towards the works being carried out. These are building works on the day centre for the families of Alzheimer patients. We did end our news yesterday telling you that we had a visit from Irish students at the Mijas Town Hall, and this took place yesterday morning. They are participating in an exchange program carried out by the Torre Almenara High School in La Cala de Mijas, and the Council for Education, Lourdes Burgos, was the one to act as hostess at the Town Hall. The students are from St. Paul's High School in County Armagh in Northern Ireland. They are here to learn Spanish and in fact, the centre actually offered Spanish as a second language. That is their school in Ireland. They arrived on Sunday and, as we say, visited Mijas yesterday. The exchange was arranged about a year ago, and for some months now the students have been writing to each other, and it's been declared to be a very positive experience. During this week, the Irish students will be living with those of La Cala and carrying out all sorts of cultural activities, and then Saturday they once again return to Ireland. And we continue speaking about schools because, of course, it's just started after the summer season, the summer holidays, and this means that many of our news items these days refer to visits by students and to different departments in Mijas. We at the television have actually had a number of groups visiting the building and seeing how things are done here. And continuing on this note, yesterday morning, the students from 3rd grade from the Nuestra Señora de Montserrat school in Malaga have had a close-up view of the fire brigade and the local police headquarters. At the fire brigade, the children learned all sorts of lessons on how to deal with a possible fire, which the lessons were actually greatly enjoyed, and many already stated their future plans to become firemen and women. And also the fire brigade in Mijas, as we say, is visited by a number of schools in the province, possibly due to the popularity they achieved during the fire last year in Mijas, where they became quite famous. The department is open to this type of educational tours throughout the whole year. After this, the children visited the local police headquarters, and there they got to know more about the work carried out by the police agents here in Mijas. All in all, as you can see, the children had an enjoying day out and learned more about two very exciting professions. That must have been quite hard to control there in the local police, with them all playing with the different buttons and different alarms, but there you go. Moving back to the weekend, and this is the last time we'll be talking now about Santa Teresa, but Sunday was a very special day in La Cala. All last weekend was very special for La Cala, and as you know, if you actually took a stroll around the village, you will have noticed it. They've been celebrating the patron saint Santa Teresa, and it has just been one long fiesta. Sunday was the biggest day with the celebration of the Romería de Santa Teresa. The Los Olivos Park once again gathered the pilgrims who, after the Rociera Mass and the procession, arrived at the park with every intention to have a very good day among friends. Residents and tourists followed the procession with the throne carried by women, as is traditional. Most covered the distance walking, some on horseback and others in carriages known as carrozas, and these were adorned for the occasion. We're seeing here on screen different acts that took place on stage throughout the weekend. The mayor of Mijas, Ángel Nozal, also accompanied the neighbours at Los Olivos and highlighted the family environment at the event. La Cala has been giving us a lot of news lately, and we're going back to the elderly people now, the senior citizens of La Cala, and if they do stand out for one thing in particular, it's how united they are. And once again, yesterday at the Centre for Senior Citizens in La Cala, this was once again seen. It was a gathering point for many. This time, the event was organised by the owner of the bar at the centre, and this is Sebastián Francisco de Sosa, who highlighted the generosity and high spirits of the citizens who visit him every day at the centre. Those present enjoyed a delicious barbecue and had a great time, and as we can see, maybe not in these exact images, but there were a lot of children and younger people present as well. We remind you that the Centre for Senior Citizens at La Cala is open to all who wish to go along and spend an enjoyable moment with the ones who really can tell the history of La Cala. We've had some great jazz here in Mijas over the weekend, and among these groups, the Cotton Jazz Quartet. These were the ones to inaugurate the Mijas Jazz Festival at Las Lagunas in the theatre on Friday. This was the 18th of October. The musicians were delighted to form part of the cartel and offered a great repertoire. For the Cotton Sax Quartet, it's been an enormous responsibility and a passionate challenge to be the ones to open the Mijas Jazz Festival. The origins of the group go back to the conservatory and the municipal band. The group is made up by 6 members. None of them actually live from the music they perform and produce, and their main concern is actually to find time to practice. If you were not able to go along on Friday to the theatre, to Las Lagunas, to see the concert offered by the Cotton Sax Quartet, we will shortly be offering you the full concert here on 340 television, and we'll be letting you know the exact time as soon as we are informed. We'll let you know as soon as this full concert's going to be shown here on 340 television so that you can take note and enjoy it at home. And to round up today, we do so with an exhibition of art, because From Divine to Human, this is the title of an exhibition that is now to be visited at the Folk Museum in Mijas, with paintings by José Antonio Jiménez Muñoz. He offers an interesting proposal of nude art that is between profane and religious. All one needs to do is take a glance at one of the 22 pieces that make up the exhibition to understand the title. From Divine to Human, José Antonio Jiménez Muñoz takes a little from both worlds for his creations. The originality of Jiménez Muñoz's work radicates in the use of a wide range of shades and lights that are applied with very varied techniques. And the exhibition, as we say, is available to be seen at the Folk Museum in Mijas Village. Well, this just about rounds up our news for today. We will, of course, before we go, take a quick look at the weather. We told you yesterday we have rain to come, and, well, it's still coming from what we can see. And we can't really say exactly when it's going to start raining, because even the national weather forecasts are a little bit, well, they're not very sure about this. But the rest of Spain is actually being, especially in the north, it's, they're suffering floods. And eventually, theoretically, this rain should be reaching us here on the coast. So for now, it's just very cloudy, and with threats of rain for later on today and tomorrow. Time to say goodbye, as we say, for today. Remember, tomorrow is Wednesday, and we have been announcing from last week that we'll be offering you a special program with a summary of the meetings that were offered to the public up in the Mijas Town Hall regarding the PEPRI plan. So if you'd like to find out a little bit more about what this plan is all about and how it affects the older part of Mijas village, if possibly you may even be affected yourself living there, this is the time to take a look at this. And you do have the option to even have a say in what this PEPRI plan will be doing in Mijas. So please tune in tomorrow, and we'll be giving you a translation of the meeting that took place, one of the meetings that took place up in Mijas, and we'll be continuing to inform you more about this also. So that's the programs coming up tomorrow here on Mijas 340 International. We'll be back again with you on Thursday with the news. See you then.